Shall we begin?
Welcome to the Happy MonsterCast. I'm your host, Scott Marchand Davis of Happy Monster Press.
Let's begin now.
This week on the Happy MonsterCast, the Heap of Peeps visits the Froth and finds a messy mystery. Previously on the Happy MonsterCast, a heap of adventuresome peeps are investigating the murder and attempted corpse robbery of Basil LaCroix. Snoop Slap Gobbleston, animate refuse pile and master of contamination. Scrappy, Schnozzy, Slipper Smell, expert gadgeteer. Stench Bottom McMighty Face, a Priceacorn and wielder of the mighty Enormo Slice. And Chitinous Malice Cooper, roach master of the necromantic art of danging. The heap are waiting for information on the mystery of the primordial soup kitchen and decide to take in the sights in Flume. Low Life contains adult language and juvenile humor. You have been warned. All right, so let's recap. You are waiting for some intel. Specifically, you're waiting for, there's a group of Weisenheimers that you helped out by defeating a group of bullies that were bothering them. And they are going to hook you up with the location of a mysterious individual known as Gormini the Goose in the next day or two. So in the meantime, you're hanging around the bitchin' city of Flume, and you're off to see one of the big attractions in Flume, which you've been to before, but you didn't really have the chance to appreciate it last time, and that is the Froth. And the Froth is, of course, a gigantic statue which spews out a continuous stream of delicious root beer. And so surrounding the Froth are...
so weird.
Surrounding the Froth are vendors who sell various souvenirs, mugs for collecting root beer in, T-shirts that say, "I went to Flume and all I got was this lousy T-shirt," or "Bitchin' City of Flume," slog nugget vendors to give you a little something to snack on while you're enjoying your root beer, and so on. As you arrive, would you like to drop some clams on any of these stands?
I would like to get some slog nuggets. I don't get those on shipboard.
Okay. That'll just set you back a clam. They're not terribly expensive.
Okay.
Anyone else want anything?
Yeah, I'll grab one of those too.
So I'll get a mug for collecting
Okay. Yeah,
stuff.
so do you want
Root beer.
some delicious root beer? Yeah, Chitinous
I
is
will
going to
have
get a mug
delicious root beer.
and go collect some root beer too. So as you're sipping your root beer and munching on your slog nuggets, you hear a bit of a commotion coming from over here.
Of course.
And you recognize from behind the Bodil Daddy Hassafras that you've encountered a few times now. And he appears to be laying down some gospel. "Let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. You has gots to be down with the human race. If that's a crime, rip off my toes and call me a pickled slog nugget. Can I get a human?" And as he's looking around, you see him kind of grimace briefly and squint his eyes shut. And then he takes a sip of root beer and then continues. But he seems to be a little bit of distress. So what are you guys going to do as he continues to speak?
I guess we could keep and what do you mean by distress? Like medical distress?
I was gonna say, what
Like
kind of-
medical. He looks like he's in a little bit of pain.
Huh. I guess we could check
we
up
could-
on him and ask how he's
Okay.
doing.
So you head over that way. And he continues to speak. He says, "Yes, indeed, because you see, my brothers and sisters, the human race ain't never done nobody no wrong. It ain't never started no wars, and it ain't never, oh, crap." And so he doubles over. He he drops his staff. He drops his mug. He clutches at his belly with all three of his arms.
Oh, lordy.
And loud, extremely rude foot stuck in the mud noise issues from beneath his robes. And seconds later, you smell a stench more rancid than anything you've ever thought possible.
Oh my
And
god.
he hops off of his pulpit and runs over to a sewer grate, hikes his robes up, and his face slowly fades from the crimson of agony to the brighter red of embarrassment as he relieves himself noisily into the gutter. So there's a shocked silence for a second, and then somewhere in the crowd, someone else goes, "Oh!" And within seconds, a dozen people are doubled over in pain, emptying their bowels into the sewer and the river. I need I need Scrappy to make a vigor roll, please.
Oh god. Shoot.
And,
Okay.
And Chitinous is making one too. So Chitinous looks a little distressed, but he's a croach. He can roll with this kind of thing. It's like, life is agony.
And this. Oh god.
Not a good roll.
Would you like to Benny that?
Sure. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. I should have given you that thing. Okay.
You barely managed to contain yourself, but your intestines are very unhappy.
Okay, so the experienced world travelers will know. If it ain't cooked, don't eat it. Oh, if it ain't boiling, don't drink it.
Usually, root beer is not something that one is too worried about. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Yeah, Froth is an institution. Okay, this is not normal.
Wow.
So and after a few minutes, the pain subsides. Everyone returns to normal. Daddy Hassafras wanders over. He goes, "Oh, my friends, I'm sorry you had to see that, brothers and sisters."
Us too, brother. How are you feeling?
I don't know what happened.
Wow.
How
he
exciting.
says, I believe this is a plot by the delicious cream-filled center of all. They're out to get me. I can reward you if you can solve this mystery and determine how they have poisoned me.
Sure, that sounds good. I think we do everybody a good turn if we can do that.
All right. So how do you proceed?
Well, first of all, I mean, let's look around. I mean, so all the people. So obviously, not all of us suffered, but so let's start asking questions. What did people eat, drink? It was the root beer, right?
It does appear that everyone who had any kind of attack was had root beer from the Froth this morning.
All right. So
as you're investigating, a group of hoinks show up, and they start erecting barriers around the Froth. The Froth is closed. Orders of the Keistermeister.
That was fast. So these guys just showed up with barricades like just now?
Yeah, it's been a few minutes as you're asking around. So, maybe 10, 15 minutes after the initial incident, these guys show up.
Seem a little odd, maybe?
Well, I'm just thinking, how did they know to go get barricades right now when it was just this whole stuff just happened? But maybe my timing is off.
It's not out of the question. This could be a reaction, but they could have had advance notice.
Right.
And there's a little worm who seems to be in charge. He's saying, "Move along. Anyone approaching the froth will be placed in immediate arrest.
Oh.
I think we should go up and tell the worm that we're investigating.
And who might you be? This worm is like 2 feet tall, but he sounds like he's ready to yell, "This is Sparta in boots. I'm down a well."
We've been hired by one of the people, one of the victims of the poison stuff, to investigate this and find out what's going on. We've been, contracted to determine exactly what happened.
We'll be having Weisenheimers inspect this.
Would those be the same Weisenheimers we've been working with?
I'm not familiar with which Weisenheimers you're referring to.
Nice. I guess we can sort of relate the details of the people that we were talking to.
And it's like, very well. We'll take this under advisement. I'll pass this along to the Weisenheimers when they arrive.
Where does the root beer come from? Is there a central pumping station, or can we trace the pipes and stuff?
Okay, so I would like you all to make
somebody could have found something in there.
That is also possible.
Were looking. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like you to make common knowledge rolls to see what you know about the froth here. Oopslap knows very little.
What's the fizz? How does everything move in this place? Physics.
No idea. I have no idea. What?
I know.
Physics. Physics.
Oh, physics. Oh, physics.
FIZZ-ICS.
All of you are pretty clueless, so you'll need to ask around. You guys suppose you could ask Daddy Hassafras about it.
Oh, okay. Let's go ask Daddy about it. He might know.
Oh, my brothers and sisters, what have you discovered?
Well, we think it's the root beer.
The root beer, eh? That's a tricky way for those pesky Jemima's witnesses to get at me.
So we've kind of narrowed it down to one of two things. Either there's some kind of a toxin or a poison or some kind of a malodorous, maleficent agent that was put into the fountain here. We absolutely should get a sample. Or it was put into the pipes and pumping stuff that feeds the fountain. So while we're getting a sample here and looking for some suspicious here, do you happen to know where this root beer comes from? Is there a central tank, a reservoir or cistern that it's pumped from?
Well, let me tell you, brothers and sisters, this is a device of great history and importance. It is one of the city's most celebrated works of art. It's been here since 417 Yafwaf.
Wow, that sounds old.
Okay.
It is indeed. It is indeed. It is itself a magical device. The root beer is produced directly within the fountain and is unique to our lovely city, the bitchin' city of Flume. It is forbidden to sell this root beer anywhere outside this plaza. But I'll tell you, it's been sabotaged before.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah, back in 446, a contaminator known as Contemptible Nas dosed the root beer with a lethal concoction of canker droppings and other horrible things, resulting in over 100 people died from explosive diarrhea.
Yowza.
And a few years later, a group of fungus subversives spiked the froth with extract of potty sprunge. That, of course, caused the creeping wigginess. It took months to repaint all the buildings.
Wow. And Daddy, how were these agents introduced to the root beer? Were they just poured into the fountain, or what's their means of introduction?
That's an interesting question. I know the root beer is brewed from gizzard bark roots that are delivered twice a year to the fountain, where they are magically processed into this delicious beverage. I believe, according to legend, that in fact these were introduced directly into the fountain in order to cause the sabotage.
So I think we would need.
Why would you think that?
People only. Yeah.
Why would anyone do that? Well, as I said, I believe that it is a plot on the part of the Jemima's witnesses to take me down and destroy the influence of the Church of the Human Race.
But there was a lot of other people that got sick too. So, I mean, although it certainly is one possibility that you were the target of this, just a general mayhem might also have been a goal.
Perhaps, but I know those deceitful creamfillians have no concern over collateral damage.
Okay.
So in the previous times, like, why? What was the motive to poison the root beer fountain? Oh my God, the root beer fountain before.
Well, the contaminator. No offense, my friend Goopslap. Contaminators are often dangerously demented, and the fungoids, of course, they were They were part of the Fungus Liberation Fund. You know, the FLF.
Okay.
What?
Okay. So looking around the plaza here, do we see any Crumphillians? Anybody looking suspicious, or do we notice that any of them got sick?
You bought. There definitely were a couple of Crumphillians who got sick. You also bought your slug nuggets from a slug nugget vendor who did not get sick, and he's a Crumphillian. He's down here.
Okay. Well, yeah. I guess as a vendor, I mean, they're here to work, not really to hobnob with the tourists drinking the root beer. Maybe we should go talk to the vendor and see if we can get any information about other Creamphillians that were maybe hanging out near the fountain, so we can at least eliminate them as the possibility of who poisoned it.
Okay. So he gives you kind of a look at the undead Gary, and Chitinous looks at him and says, "What? What?" So that the guy's like, back for more slog nuggets.
Well, we certainly can be. They were delicious. But one of the best things about your slog nuggets is that I didn't get sick from eating them. The same way that everybody else seemed to got sick from drinking the root beer out of the fountain.
Right. Bad for business.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, I wanted to ask you a question. There is a rumor, we've heard it suggested, that the people that tampered with the fountain and made people get sick were Creamphillians. And I was just wondering if you knew anything about that.
That sounds like a big pile of slog voodoo to me.
You know, I kind of thought exactly the same thing. And that's why I'm eager to eliminate, as kind of a broad brush being painted across the good name of the Creamphillians who might be in the area. So did you happen to notice any of your fellow Creamphillians hanging out near the fountain earlier? Let's say an hour or so before people started to get sick. Anything suspicious about that?
I see a lot of people. There were Creamphillians, worms, bodles, roaches, worms, bodles, a pile or two, maybe even a tizen. I'm
going to try to persuade him and say, now, come on, now you can tell me the truth. Do you know anything about this? About whoever was tampering at the fountain?
If I did, I'd go punch them in the groin. This is going to kill my daily returns. You know how much slog nuggets cost? I barely have a 10% profit margin, my friend. All these slog nuggets are going to waste if nobody's here for dinner at the Froth.
All right. So I guess we can believe him that he doesn't really know anything about this and it's not a whole Creamfillian.
At least he's not involved.
Or at least he's not involved. Okay. So I feel bad for the guy. So I'm going to buy another pack of the slog nuggets.
Okay. Here, have a double. I'm just going to have to throw them in the river anyway. Kindness says, I like the cut of this size jib.
Nice.
And as you're collecting your slog nuggets, you see a couple of worms roll up, and they break out backpacks full of tubes and various kinds of gizmos and start sampling the water. And as they're doing so, the sun starts to set. And you see, looking at them working, there's a faint glow in some places in the fountain.
Huh. A glow. Okay. We should investigate, Scooby.
All right. So the guards are still there. So they're still not letting anyone approach. But you see one of the Weisenheimers go over here to the Croach who's selling slog nuggets to get some napkins.
So let's ask him about it.
He says, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to discuss this matter on orders of the Keistermeister.
So I hold out the double order of slog nuggets that I just bought, and I said, hey, come on, I'll buy you dinner. Here, have a slog nugget.
Okay, give me a persuasion roll at -2, please.
-2.
Would anyone like to support that roll?
Yes.
That's pretty terrible.
How would we?
Those nuggets are really, really good, and I think if you just sort of sat down for a minute, it would be yummy. Yeah.
Titanus is going to make an attempt at persuasion here, since he's very good at it. He says, look, I know you are clearly the smartest person in this entire plaza. And of course, you know exactly what's going on with the Froth. He says, well, yes, I am a very intelligent worm. And, he takes the slog nuggets. He says, just between you and me, that glow, it's totally canker drool. And that seems to be what's causing this epidemic.
Canker drool.
Canker drool?
Yes, canker drool.
Do we know what that is?
You have heard of cankers as a creature. Let's see, cankers. So a canker is so Goop Slap, you know the most about them. Because they are contaminants. So they're a type of contaminant that you might be able to create at some point. They look kind of like giant lumpy tumors with multiple-eyed heads. And they pretty much everything on their body drips with greasy, faintly luminous viridian pus.
God.
They're known for being highly contagious, and also for being able to squirt their pus at targets.
Yuck.
What a disgusting superpower.
Ugh. All right. So, what's your next move?
Well, so do we know who? I mean, are there canker farms around here, or who do we know that would be in control of such a creature?
Well, you'd need a reasonably powerful contaminator.
Yes. I know about contamination. Yeah.
You do know about contamination. So, based on your knowledge of contamination, a canker is not an entry level. It's not an entry level contaminant. This is not something you can't make one right now.
No, it's beyond my
In order to create one, you would need to be at least at a veteran level character. So whoever is creating these is fairly powerful contaminator. Now you've encountered a couple of powerful contaminators recently. Of course, there was Ulan Crepulos, who seems to have been a bit of a troublemaker and was certainly all about trying to take down Ficus, and of course Ficus as well. And you're pretty confident from your knowledge of contamination that either of them could create a canker.
Okay. So either of them could, but would they have a reason to? What's the motive here in?
Well, that is an excellent question.
Yeah.
And the means of infiltration they used.
I mean, I guess it's possible that somebody is. I don't know. It seems too generalized. Unless the guy's paranoid, which I guess is possible too.
Could be. So what's your next move? Where are you headed? Getting on in the evening.
Well, can we track the gosh, so what I was thinking is we try to find these people that were responsible or that are capable of making the cankers. We can ask them either if they did it or if they would, lead us to somebody else who might know how to do it. Somebody with a specific motive.
All right, so you head out into the city to try to track down these guys, and as you do so, I would like you all to make notice rolls, please.
Notice.
Oh boy,
okay.
Pretty clueless.
I am surprisingly adept.
Yep. So as you're strolling along, Stench Bottom, you see a sewer grate, and there's a faint glow coming up from it.
Oh.
Alrighty.
And as you walk closer to it, you hear a faint scraping sound from down below.
I say we investigate. We pull up the sewer grate and get down in there.
All right. We will need a strength check to pull up the sewer grate because it appears to be jammed. Chitinous is going to have Gary lend a hand in prying up with first Stench Bottom for prying up the grate here.
All right.
So we have levers.
A surprisingly effective hand.
Oh wow!
Wow.
My goodness. Oh
okay,
wow.
So between Stench Bottom and Gary, you just yank this thing right out of the ground. And there's a vertical shaft down to the sewer tunnel the shaft itself is covered in slippery algae, so it's going to be an athletics roll at -2 to climb down, unless one of you has something to help with climbing.
Not really. I mean,
all right, so I'll need athletics rolls then.
No,
athletic. It's just you. Do you have rope or anything?
Well, I mean, as a Chrysocorn, I get a little bit of an athletics boost, but nothing specific.
All right. Well, Chitinous says, "All right, let's do this," and he's gonna start climbing down.
Sorry, I didn't do the -2, so that's a 3 for me.
All right, you will fall with that roll. Man, Chitinous and Gary are on fire here. So Chitinous starts cockroaching his way down. I need to give Gary an unskilled roll here because he is not. He should have athletics though. I'm just gonna give him an athletics equivalent to his agility because it's a core skill that pretty much everybody has. Okay. All right. So Gary and Chitinous just like zoop down there. Stenchbottom, you're going to fall if you don't Benny that. And then I need athletics rolls from Goop Slap and Scrappy here as well.
Okay.
Oh.
Goop Slap, you're good.
I believe that. Like a D4 -2.
Scrappy, not so much.
I didn't see my second roll.
Okay, Scrappy makes it down on the second try.
Second is fine.
I'm going to say you all make it down okay. And when you reach the bottom, you see that the walls are coated with a faintly glowing slime. And you see two cankers who appear to be scraping the glowing slime off of the walls and into little backpacks that they're carrying. And you're pretty confident that what you're looking at in terms of the backpacks is, or in terms of the slime, is in fact poo. Goop Slap in particular, this is kind of your territory, so you're pretty sure you know what you're looking at there.
Yep, shit's right there.
So they poisoned the well, or they poisoned the fountain in order to get people to poop, so that they could collect the poop.
And as you climb down, they are they holster their sandbox shovels that they're using to collect the poo.
God, they're like gong farmers.
Wow.
And they turn at you and attack. So that will put us into combat.
A bunch of people who are shoveling poop.
Well, just two of them, really.
Wow.
Bullshit shovelers.
Says something about you if that's what you do for fun.
Well, they are contaminants. So they are contaminants. So they're created by a contaminator. Oh, Joker for Goop Slap.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Pennies from heaven. Okay. All right, so you have a +2 on whatever you do this round.
Oh, fantastic.
Gary doesn't get a turn. He acts when Chitinous acts. Okay, Goop Slap, you're up.
All right, so I'll move up a little bit, and yeah, I'm going to slam a bolt and add some EPs. Oh, the window's too small. Hold on. I think that should work. All right, I don't know why that's not working.
Just roll it because you should have regenerated your power points anyway.
Okay.
So give me a contaminating roll.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not. Oh, there we go. PowerPoints. Yeah, it's not rolling it. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Well, here. So I'll throw in the +2 for you. Good thing.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So that is, it already had the Joker. That's cool. It does the Joker automatically. Awesome. In any event, that hits. So give me a 3d6.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that does hit with a raise, but it's really not going to matter.
Wow.
Wow.
So you tear a chunk of yourself off, hurl it violently at this canker, and it just drops to the ground and collapses into a puddle of goo.
Nice.
I make a fist. I just say next.
Huh.
Okay, so he's down. That takes us to Scrappy.
I was thinking of summoning ally.
Absolutely.
Oh wait, do I have to click out? Ugh, get a Benny that one. I think I'm almost out of Bennies today.
Oh no, you just got one. You've got 5.
Did. All right, let's re-roll that one. Do I subtract power points first?
No, it takes care of it for you.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All right, so that will produce an attendant, which is under your control.
Nice.
Where would you like the attendant to be? It can be anywhere within smarts range, so you could drop it right into melee with the guy if you want.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the attendant drops right in front of the remaining canker there. And that means that it is Chightness's turn, which means it's also Gary's turn. Charge, Gary, he yells. So Gary is going to run. Which puts him also into melee. And then he's going to do a fighting attack at -2 because he ran. Mostly he wanted to get in there so that, yeah, that's pathetic. And then Chightness himself is going to throw a knife at the canker. He might hit Gary, but that's not really his concern. What's the throwing version of this? All right, well, I'll just do the athletics roll. But he hits. For a very respectable 7 damage. Unfortunately, the dagger simply deflects off of the canker's pustulent hide and into the wall. And the canker is then going to try to smash your attendant. Which it does. Ouch. And he basically smashes your attendant out of existence.
Oh, that's annoying.
It's there to be a.
That's true.
A meat shield, right?
Better
and
than me.
Yeah, last but not least, we have Stench Bottom.
Okay, this is a one I haven't used yet. I'm going to try to spit.
Okay.
What's okay? Hang on. Oh, here it comes. How do I do that? What's the
Let me see here. Did I put the text to the edge in?
I have it here on the edge.
Yeah, give me a shooting roll.
Okay. Oh, God damn it. I spit in my own eye.
No, you hit I'm gonna say you hit Gary.
Oh, damn it.
And Gary is
Sorry,
now
Gary.
blinded.
Sorry, Gary.
Oh,
I
no
I
good.
finally get to use this stupid power. All right.
Okay, and Goop Slap is up first again.
All right. And we'll just try to do that again.
That will hit.
All right. And is it 3?
If you added the extra power point, yes.
Okay, yeah.
All right, you have shaken the canker.
Canker shaker. I like it.
Yep. Unfortunately, the canker is up next.
Ugh.
Fortunately, it does not unshake. It just kind of yells in rage. Okay, Cinch Bottom, you're up.
Great. This time I am not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to close with the enormous slice.
Okay.
Right. Here we go.
That does not hit.
Really?
Even with the gang up bonus, yeah.
Huh.
Would you like to Benny it?
Yes, I would. It's better.
That's actually the same roll. Still doesn't hit.
Ah, man. Alrighty. I am of little help here tonight.
All right. Scrappy.
So I guess I'm gonna just try out the different powers. So let's try burrowing and trying to get closer to the canker or the contaminant.
Okay. All right, go for it. That should not be untrained. Hang on a second. What's the skill called? Weirding, right? All right. I gave you your PowerPoint back. So try that again.
Okay.
Much better. You dissolve down into the earth.
Nice. Can I move, or do I need to wait for my next turn?
You absolutely can move. You can move at half your normal pace. You can move 3 squares down and within the earth.
I'm going to move towards. Is that 3? 1, 2,
That's
2, and then up 3.
Move up next.
Okay.
You can move next to Goop Slap there.
Okay.
So next round you'll be in range. Okay, Chitinous says, "Get him, Gary." Gary, of course, makes a fighting roll at -4 because he's blind.
Sorry, Gary.
Which of course fails to hit. Chitinous is going to cast fear on the wanker, which he fails to do. New round. Scrappy, you're up first.
Having a hard night. Right. Let's move to. I'm going to move over so that next round I can come up and try to hit him.
Okay. You can potentially make him. He will potentially be vulnerable if you beat his notice. All right. The canker is going to. The canker is going to try to unshake. Oops, not bigger.
Don't unshake.
It does manage to unshake this time. And it is going to try to smash Stench Bottom. Which it fails to do.
Nice.
You can do it, Gary. I believe in you.
Oh my god.
With the gang up bonus, that hits.
My gosh.
So Gary punches him. And he manages to do nothing. And then Chitinous is going to try to cast Fear again. This time he succeeds with a raise. Let me see. Fear. Oh, we forgot stun. The affected make a fear roll at -2. All right. So let's see what happens to this guy. Oh! The canker.
Wow.
The canker is overcome with fear at the prospect of potentially being danged. And he has to immediately make a vigor roll at -2.
Wow.
Or drop dead.
Wow. That is some serious fear.
Wow, okay.
Ah!
That's unexpected. So. Oh my goodness. I think he's...
The canker clutches its chest and...
out of his chest.
The canker clutches its chest and collapses into the muck.
Oh. Wow. It's very afraid.
So as you're assessing the situation here, you see that it seems like these guys have left a trail. Like there's a slime trail that they've left behind.
Look, a clue.
Shit.
We're desperate.
So I mean, let's follow the trail. I mean, these two did not seem like the big brains of the operation here, so let's follow it.
All right, so I need someone to be a tracker, which uses the survival skill, and other people can support it. It doesn't seem like any of you have it.
Yeah. So that would be untrained, right? So that'd be D4 -2 for me.
Yes, it looks like it's untrained for everybody. So we just need to assign someone as the tracker. Doesn't really matter who. So everybody make an unskilled roll.
You do untrained.
We don't need to worry about it because apparently
Stench Bottom is
Stench
on
Bottom
it.
is a prodigal tracker. Yeah.
Holy cow! All right, so I mean the rolls come eventually. Okay, fine. Wait, a clue.
All right, so you guys wade your way through several miles of sewer here. And then you approach. You're going to be approaching. So you hear kind of a thonking sound as you're moving down the corridor here.
Thonking sound. All right.
Yeah, it sounds like wood hitting wood.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, and it seems to be coming from around the corner of the corridor I'm about to put you in. Got Chitinous there, Scrappy, Stench Bottom, Gary, and Goop Slap. It seems to be coming from down here somewhere.
Okay, well, let's investigate.
Okay, so how are you going to investigate?
I have
Peek around. I mean,
Yeah,
I actually
peeking around is good. Whoever's going to do that can make a stealth roll.
I have stealth as a skill. So, does anybody else have it at a higher level? I'm at a stealth at a D4. Is anybody better than that?
I have stealth of D8.
Oh well, take the lead.
Those smells are sneaky or a sneaky race.
Look at that.
I
Great.
think I am stealthy.
I did you like walk through the wall? Holy shit. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Wow.
Oh boy. Wow. Okay.
All right. So you kind of go down here and you peek around the corner. And that's what you see. So this is a large circular chamber. It's flooded with foul water except for this small promontory of stone back here. And there's a thick iron door set into the wall above the promontory. And there's 4 spherical, disgusting blobs standing guard in front of it. And then there's a small rowboat covered in mildew tied to a post. And the rowboat is occasionally bonking against the post, causing the thonking sound that you've been hearing. Make a common knowledge roll to see if you can identify these blobs. You can tell they're contaminants pretty easily.
Hold on.
Nope.
What's
But
spinning that?
Goop Slap could probably tell what you're looking at if he peeked around the corner.
Okay.
Okay.
Look.
So
So give me a stealth roll.
Yeah. Okay. Skills, stealth. I'll Benny that.
Why do you have a -2?
For stealth, I don't know. It says D4 -2/D6.
Huh. Interesting.
Oh, interesting.
You happy
Oh
with
my
that one?
goodness. Yeah, I'll take that.
Just
And to notice you.
Oh.
Oh, that was you, not them.
chocolate.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry, that was the wrong roll. Thought they didn't get a wild die. Nope. Okay, so you peek around the corner.
Much nicer.
And you can identify these. These are 4 wankers.
A whole lot of them.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of wanking going on.
Watch yourselves,
So,
there's 4 wankers.
Yes, so wankers, from your experience, that they are prone to burrow into a victim in the most obscene manner imaginable.
ugh.
Charming.
They also have a ranged attack of squirting a stream of vile, glistening slop from their eye.
Of course. Oh.
And they are contaminants, so it seems like perhaps you have tracked them to the lair of whatever foul contaminator is responsible for this atrocity perpetrated on the citizens of the bitchin' city of Flume. And that is where we will leave it for tonight.
oh,
Hey,
on the eve of battle. All righty.
what a strange
detective work.
world we're in. That's all I
Yes.
got.
It is a strange world, no question.
I love how bizarre it is.
You can follow Happy Monster Press on Facebook as Happy Monster Press, at our website, happymonsterpress.com,
Twitter as Happy Monster PRS, or follow the podcast on YouTube, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, iTunes, or Google Play Music. The Happy MonsterCast is part of the Savage Worlds Media Network. This game references the Savage Worlds game system, available from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at www.peginc.com. It is unofficial media content, permitted under the Media Network Content Agreement. This content is not managed, approved, or endorsed by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Certain portions of the materials used are the intellectual property of Pinnacle, and all rights are reserved. Savage Worlds, all related settings and unique characters, locations, and characters, logos, and trademarks are copyrights of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. All other content is the intellectual property of Happy Monster Press. Music, Ice Cold by Jason Shaw.
Oh, for sure.